So we continue on to the Hebrew of Jonah 2:3. Now we've already encountered some perfect tense endings. We've had katal t, the tav yod, here tav here yod, that is I, first common singular, I did something. We've had in the previous verse tav kamatz, which is you masculine singular did something. In this verse, we're going to learn the first common plural, they did something. And then I think we've reached enough critical mass that in the next video, I'm just going to systematize the endings of the perfect tense in the base stem. But let's go ahead and do Jonah 2:3, shall we? Can you pronounce these words? Here's how I would do it. V'tash li keni, v'kash li keni, that's a long one, but the bigger they are, the harder they fall, as we'll see in a second. Mezula, bil vav, don't bill me, bil vav. Yamim, v'nahar, yasova veni, yasova veni. Notice that this is a vocal schwa because it follows a long vowel. All right, so how does it translate? And they sent, and you sent me. Okay, we're going to analyze that one in a second. And you sent me, that is Yahweh, you sent me, mazula, the depth. We would say to the depths or into the depths. We need a preposition in English. They didn't need one. You sent me depth. You sent me depths. This is a word for the bottom of the ocean, or the bottom of the sea, that is. You sent me depth. We know what it's saying. We have to play with these things because other languages do things differently than we do. Bilvav, in heart of seas. Now, there's no the seas here. It just says in heart of seas. That would be a bad English translation right now, right? I'm sure if you looked at any version you have at hand, it's going to say in the heart of the seas or something like that. We can do that because we've got to make good English. That's what a translation is about, right? Translation is not about bad English that is close to the Hebrew. The good translation is good English that is accurate to the Hebrew. And this is poetry, right? If you look in most modern versions, it's going to be this part of Jonah set up in Jonah 2 is set apart as a poem. And so you can break the rules a little bit in a poem anyway. But in heart of the seas. Here yod mem, you know, is a masculine plural, absolute ending, seas. This is in construct. Levav is the heart. In the heart, ba, you know, in. So in the heart of the seas. V'nahar, and nahar is a river, but this is more of a current or a stream within the sea. Yasova veni. I'm thinking that the accent in these cases, when you use pronominal suffix, is on the second to last syllable. At least that's how I pronounced it. That's my intuition. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but it's jumping out of my subconscious. All right, so you sent me to the depths, into the heart of the seas, and a river surrounded me. Okay, I want to analyze this v'tash li keni. Let's analyze it. The bigger they are, the harder they fall. So let's start at the front here. Vav patak doubling. Well, we know what that is, right? That's a converted imperfect. And so I'm not surprised that the next letter, the tav, is a performative of the imperfect. Remember, yiktol, tiktol, tiktol. So this is you, second masculine singular, the second masculine singular performative of the Hebrew verb. So this vav, it's a converted imperfect from the tav, converted by the vav patak doubling, and it's second masculine singular from the tav. Okay? So this shalak, we're getting a shalaking. Jonah's getting a shalaking. What is a shalak? It is to send. Now, there are three letters. You'll notice, well, what's that hirk yod doing after the second consonant? And I've highlighted the patak that's under the top. You don't need to know this yet. We'll get to this in a later section, but I'm going to start introducing you to some things that are yet to come. This is a stem called the Hiph'il, or the H stem. I like calling it the H stem. Tradition calls it the Hiph'il stem, but it is a causative stem. That is, when you put something in the H stem, you are saying to cause to do whatever it is. So you caused me to go, as it were. So the telltale sign of a Hiph'il is a Hi'ark yod after the second consonant. And in the imperfect tense, another telltale sign is a patak under the tav. You don't need to know that yet, but we're going to finish up the system of the perfect in the next video. We've already done the system of the imperfect. So the next big territory we need to start conquering are these stems. There are several Hebrew stems. All right. Well, you don't need to know this yet. I'm just giving you a foretaste of glory divine. Pronounce the rest of the verse. Kol mish ba re ka. Let's see, where's my cursor? There's the cursor. All your waves. So kol, this is a kamatz katuf. It's an O. It's just an O without a long mark. It's a regular O. How do I know that? Because kol normally has a long O. And so because of the makef, it's reduced in its length. And so, but this is a kamatz katuf. I would transliterate this as a K-O-L. So all, it means all. All mishbareka. So the yod is a hint that it's plural. And you should know these kas. Well, ka. What are the ka? The ka is second masculine singular possessive suffix. Your waves and your billows. These are more or less synonyms, but in poetry you do that. Pleonasm. Anyway, so all your waves and your billows. Again, the yod in both cases is a hint that this is plural. Ka is your, and then kal means billow, and then shavar means wave. Okay? Alai, over me. Again, the yod is me. We had ni. Remember, ni is me. In the front here, we had ni on this word, and we had ni on this word, and it was translated as me as an object suffix. Okay, now here's the new thing here. Avaru. This is the new bit. It's not complicated because we already know in the imperfect tense, yiktalu, right? It has a sharuk at the end. Well, the perfect third common plural also has a sharuk at the end, but it doesn't have anything on the front, right? Perfect adds stuff on the end. Imperfect adds stuff on the beginning. So this is a third common plural, perfect tense, and avar means to cross over. Your billows flowed over me, so to speak. The waves flowed over me. So this is a third common plural, perfect, from avar. And that's the new thing we're learning in this video that we want to stick, and that is that the sharuk is third common plural. Okay, in the next video, I'm going to systematize, that's the plan at least, the perfect tense. Jonah 2:3.